Hi guys and welcome to Car Focused. We are in the Cotswolds today. It's very wet, it's very windy, but we've got something to brighten the place up a little bit. We've got this all new Audi RS3 and this is a saloon version. I've only got an hour with this car and it's not the best conditions, but I'm going to try and do a review as best I can, a bit of a first impressions review. So 400 PS in this, 500 Newton meters of torque, quattro system, dual clutch gearbox, 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, various other gizmos to make this thing a lot of fun, hopefully. So I don't want to do too much talking out here. I'm going to get inside this thing very shortly, take it for a spin and let you know exactly what I think. But what do you think of the look of it, guys? I think it looks absolutely stunning. I think Audi have nailed their current generation of cars. There are other brands out there at the moment, not to name any names, that haven't done maybe such a great job as Audi have done, but looks very nice. We've got the wide arches that you get on the RS cars typically. Some nice cooling ducts here. Big old front grille there, just makes it look nice and aggressive. Matrix LED headlights with the daytime running lights. It's really nice yellow paintwork as well. Black roof, black mirrors. Big oval exhaust at the back, one on each side. It just looks the business, guys. It looks like an Audi RS car should look like. Anyway, let's get inside the car and go for a spin. Right, so here we are in the Audi RS3 Saloon, the latest generation. Now, I haven't driven an RS3, believe it or not. I've driven a TTRS a couple of years ago, a 2018 version, which I did a review about, and I really love that car. That car, it was a 2018 car, pre-GPF. It sounded absolutely glorious. It had the lightweight aluminium 5-cylinder block as well, so it handled better. And I was really impressed with that. So to get into this car now, I am really intrigued to see exactly what it's all about. I've obviously seen some reviews on YouTube, I've read some bits about the car. It has been well received, so yeah, I'm going to see what I think of it. So up front we've got a 5-cylinder engine, 2.5 litre, 400 PS, 500 Newton meters of torque, so a nice amount there. 0 to 60 allegedly in 3.8 seconds, but it is actually meant to be a bit faster than that. They've kind of downplayed the performance a bit. So yeah, very nice fruity engine. It's great to see Audi still putting these 5 cylinders in these cars in this day and age. Now granted, it is a bit toned back to what it used to be. We do have GPFs and there are various emission laws and sound regulations they have to meet now. So in terms of its sound, it is noticeably muffled than what it was before. So anyway, driving along, we've got our drive select mode. We've got our efficiency, comfort, auto and dynamic. Efficiency being the most fuel efficient mode. Comfort obviously being the most comfortable mode. And the one I'm after is dynamic, ideally. The best mode to drive these around in usually is automatic. I think the auto mode, it will kind of suit the scenario that you want the car to kind of react to. So if you do want to go faster and you put your foot down, it will kind of wake up a little bit and it will give you the performance that you need. So auto is a nice, comfortable all-round mode. Now, suspension in this car and the general ride quality when you are in comfort mode is quite nice. It's quite smooth. You can tell you're in a sporty car. It's obviously not going to be like super comfortable. We've got low profile tyres as well on this, so you can feel kind of every little bump in the road, but it's not jittery. Is that the word I'm looking for? It's very compliant. You can feel the dampers kind of absorbing the bumps, and it's a nice ride actually. It makes the journey fairly pleasant. Obviously, if you then step this up into dynamic, the suspension will stiffen up and the car will become a bit more ready for kind of aggressive driving. But overall in comfort mode, it's a very nice, supple drive. The interior of this car as well, the car feels, it does feel like it's a smaller Audi, but it also feels spacious at the same time. Now Audi's, the dashboards are always quite shallow, so the cabin in an Audi usually does feel smaller than say other cars, but it is also spacious as well. So we've got the pan roof, or we've got the sunroof here, which lets more light in. It just makes it feel a little bit more airy in here. And yeah, I don't feel too crammed in. It's just a nice place to be, really. Steering wheel, now Audi steering wheels in the RS models, they used to be a bit chunkier than this. This one feels a little bit less meaty. We don't have a flat bottom on this one, it's the round steering wheel. I'd rather go for a flat bottom on these. And yeah, it's all right though. It is very swish in here. Infotainment system's very nice, intuitive, it's easy to use. It's not really that laggy. It's very responsive, good resolution as well. So no complaints there really. And what I do like about this car, it is quite simple to kind of jump in and know what you're doing. It's quite straightforward. You've got buttons here for your dual climate control and your drive select. Your traction control as well, which is a quick one. You can just get into your traction control straight away. So it's not busy, it's not fiddly, and it's not all that confusing. It's nice and simple. We've got a head-up display in the windscreen there. We've got speed recognition, a signpost recognition. We've got lane assist, and we've got our speed. I'm sure you can customize that in the settings as to what you have on there. And then we've got obviously the digital cockpit, which can also be played around with. You can change with the various views and stuff on there to kind of tailor it to how you want it. Seats, very nice. We've got the kind of quilted leather sport seats, are electrically adjustable. Obviously they're heated. No complaints with the seats whatsoever. Very comfortable. The rear is quite spacious in there. The seats kind of are hunkered back a little bit, so you kind of sit back in the rear of the car, which kind of gives you a bit more room as you recline back a little bit rather than being further forward and closer towards the front seats of the car. So yeah, overall interior is kind of what you expect from an Audi. It's very good quality. There's nothing rattling around. It all feels very well put together, and yeah, it's literally what I'd expect for this price point. Now, we want to talk about performance of the car. We're going to switch it up into dynamic. There's also an RS button on the steering wheel. If you press the RS button, it will bring up different gauges, so performance gauges on here. So you've got your power, your torque, your ESC comes off as well, and your display turns into like, it looks a bit like a runway, like you're on a fighter jet. And you can just hear things beef up a bit. You can hear the exhaust open up, and everything just feels much more responsive. Now I'm going to go into manual, so with a flick of the paddle, we're in manual mode. Now the good thing about this car in manual mode is you get full control. So if you do rev the car out in one of the gears, it will hit the limiter and it will stay there. It won't change the gear for you. Here we go. Whoa! I forgot to change gear. Now in my Cupra, it changes gear for you. I find it a little bit irritating. I'd rather have full control over the gearbox, and that's what we've got in this gearbox in this RS3. So yeah, the exhaust is louder in sport. It just sounds a bit muffled. You don't get that, I don't know, that raw 5-cylinder feeling. It's a bit of a muffled version. So I don't know if you can hear this. Still sounds great. It's just the 5-cylinder that's sort of hiding it. It's asking to be unleashed, but it's not allowed to be, if you know what I mean. But it does sound good. You get some nice turbo whistles and some chirps and stuff from the wastegate. And you do get the sense of drama that you're after in a car like this. So if we drop down to first gear, national speed limit signs now. Obviously we're quattro, so floor, throttle. Wow! It goes guys. And also it's playful. So we came around the left-hand corner there, and the rear actually stepped out a little bit, so we've got a playful four-wheel drive system here. Obviously a bit more power going to the rear there as we went around that corner, and that's something which Audis of the previous generations have kind of lacked. They've been a bit understeery, sorry, a little bit dull, but no, this does feel nice and playful. Right guys, we're going to try quick launch control. We're down a slight hill as well, so left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Go. Wow! Oh, very fast, very fast. That got to 60 like that. No doubt that is sub 4 seconds. And I couldn't let that go any longer because we were coming up to a bend, but down this hill as well, that felt savage. Awesome stuff. Yeah, so I think this car is very capable. It's fun as well. No complaints really, guys, to be fair. I mean, for the price point, it needs to be pretty good, because for the top spec model, you are knocking on the door of over £70,000. How did it make you feel as a driver? Yeah, I mean, I do think it's maybe missing a little bit of that kind of, let's say, engagement. It does feel a little bit assisted in a way. I think it's just because then it's a bit more muted now, and it's a little bit clinical in terms of, I don't know, I think it's just because it's just very, very good. It's just very good. And sometimes cars that have little quirks, they kind of give it a little bit more character, but this thing is fast though. It is very fast. Whew. They have done a good job here. You don't get any pops and crackles on the downshift. That's something I miss. My word, she gets down the road. I'd love to get this on a track because obviously you'd be able to push it 100% and see exactly what it's all about, but the feeling I'm getting from being on a road in it, I think it would be awesome on a track. So we've got a junction here, so this is a good opportunity to really kind of see what the pure acceleration is like. So we're going to nail it now. It's when you get into third gear, you really start to get that sense of speed then. It does first and second so effortlessly. It doesn't feel massively quick, but it is. But then when you get into third, because it's a long gear, you really get that sense of being kind of pulled into the back of your seat and that sensation of speed. It's just relentless. And the gear changes are so quick, you're constantly in that power band. Yeah guys, so Audi RS3 Saloon, very impressive. Very impressive. First RS3 I've driven, what do I think? Great car, sounds amazing with the 5-pot up front. Probably if I had this car, I'd maybe try and fiddle with the exhaust a little bit just to release a bit more of the noise you expect from a 5-pot, but very comfortable when it needs to be, very well put together. Just a nice car, a good looking car as well. Ticks all the boxes really. For me personally, it's a bit expensive, but price of cars these days, it's kind of what you have to expect. But no, the car gets a thumbs up from me, guys. I like it. Until the next one, guys, as always, take care, and I shall see you soon.